Primate Oko reacts to the award presented to him by the Anglican Core Members FCT chapter. Most Reverend Alexander Ibezem speaks on the importance of recommitting to God. Reverend Grant Deben reacts to his new appointment as Anglican Bishop of the Defense Force. Hello and welcome to the News on the Hour, brought to you from the Advent Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN Television. I'm Phoebe Agimehu. The Anglican Youth Core Members FCT chapter have appreciated the Bishop of Abuja and Primate of the Church of Nigeria, His Grace the Most Reverend Dr. Nicholas Oko, by awarding him with an award of appreciation for all the good works and fatherly care he has showered on the core members, both Anglicans and non-Anglicans. The award of appreciation was presented to the Bishop of Abuja and Primate of the Church of Nigeria at a one-day valedictory synod of the Diocese of Abuja Anglican Communion held at the Basilica of Grace, Gudo District, Abuja.
Award of appreciation presented to the Most Reverend Nicholas D. Oko, M.A., FSS, MSS, LLD, DT, Metropolitan, and Primate of all Nigeria. The recognition of your great labor of love and service to the welfare of Nigeria Corps members, presented by the Anglican Corpus Fellowship, FCT Abuja.
Speaking to ACNN News correspondent Nzubechi Frank, the Anglican Core Members Chaplain, the Reverend Canon of Furum Innocent, read out the reason for the award given.
We are here to appreciate the Primate for the good works he has been doing for us with our Bishop, the Right Reverend Dr. Duke T. Akamiseko. They have shown us fatherly care by making available a number of buildings for the accommodation of Anglican corpus and non-Anglicans in Abuja. I have nothing to give but to show this appreciation with a little token of what we've done to appreciate our Primate who is retiring from active service but not tired. Our prayer is that the Lord shall continue to bless him, because the accommodation they have made available here runs into millions if we are to rent those places. But out of their own magnanimity and their compassion for the corpus in Abuja, they gave us those wonderful places. Of a truth, we cannot say thank you enough.
Reacting to the award in an interview with ACNN News reporter Nzubechi Frank, the Bishop of Abuja and Primate of the Church of Nigeria, His Grace the Most Reverend Dr. Nicholas Oko, appreciated the group and expressed satisfaction that indeed what the church is doing for them is a remarkable one.
Well, as you can see through the award, they are our children. And we are happy that they are not being taken advantage of by unscrupulous elements in society, particularly the girl folk. Because if you are looking for accommodation, they can put you to all sorts of stress. Yes, subject one to all sorts of stress in order to get accommodation. So the church decided that we must cater for our young people and make sure that they have their NYSC without stress, without tears, and so on, since the government is unable to look after them after they finish the campaign.
Christians have been urged to look unto Jesus, who alone is the author and finisher of their faith, and not to any man, not even on any cleric. This was the admonition of the Archbishop of Under Niger and Bishop of Awka Diocese Anglican Communion, the Most Reverend Alexander Ibezem, during his sermon at the Chapel of Redemption in Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Anambra State.
When the rapture will take place, you see that many ministers will not make heaven. If it is this Bible we are preaching, as I get higher in this church, I begin to learn that the church is very evil.
was also a time of prophetic declarations for members of the Mothers Union as the women will dedicate their lives and services to God Almighty, as they also pray for their homes and the country for God's intervention and healing. The Lord Bishop of the Diocese of Nsukka, the Right Reverend Aloysius Agbo, has recounted some of the bitter experiences that his family went through during their years of childlessness. The clerics said they went through mockery from fellow clerics and even members of their church in their time of waiting. While speaking with ACNN News correspondent Wane Ogechukwu in an interview, Bishop Aloysius Agbo said that their joy knew no bounds when God remembered his family after 18 years of waiting on him.
It wasn't an easy road. Each time I come back and share with my wife, possibly the testimony I've had of what God did, she will ask me to pray for her. And whenever she said that, it's to me like a bomb. It's a way of saying, if you are doing this, prove it in my own life. When I look at it from a different angle, I will see it as also a word of encouragement that God, who is doing it in other people's life, will also do it in my own, in his own time. People insulted us, people castigated us, but we went to God in prayers. I prayed two kind of prayers. Number one is that I was praying for them, that God will help them, those people, that they will never experience what I'm experiencing all through their generation, that they will be alive to see when God will visit me. And that's why I was so happy at the Thanksgiving.
The Christian life has been set up with that which follows the law of God, because God's laws were given to help the people love God with all their hearts and minds and relate well with one another. However, throughout Israel's history, these laws have been often misquoted and misapplied. This was the assertion of the Right Reverend Dr. Blessing Eyinda, Bishop Diocese of Ikwere, Anglican Communion, during his sermon at a service of special thanksgiving to God for his mercy and grace upon the founders, management and students of Pamo University of Medical Sciences, Rivers State. According to the cleric, for the university to make a success of its vision and missions, to be seen as a great university, and to be rated high in the Committee of Universities, the school's laws, rules and regulations must not be destroyed, but must be upheld and fulfilled by both students and staffers, adding that the university will be great and will produce great heads, hearts and hands in the medical sciences if they all play by the rules with the fear of God. Still to come, Venerable Judge Davison elected Bishop of Corner. These are many more stories after this break. Please stay on with us.
Diocese of Abuja Anglican Communion invites you to the 2020 Diocesan Lenten Meditation, tagged The Way of the Cross, with the theme Spiritual Warfare and Victory. Date Monday 2nd to Sunday 8th March 2020. Time 5 p.m. daily at the Cathedral Church of the Advent Life Camp, Abuja. Free transportation available from all Anglican churches to the venue. Ministering are Right Reverend Dr. Olumakaye, Right Reverend Joseph Musa, Right Reverend Dr. Stephen Akobe, Right Reverend Dr. Stephen Fagbemi, Right Reverend Godwin Robinson, Venerable Professor Chinedu Nebo, Venerable Justice Okoronkwo, and other anointed servants of God. They'll be counseling on special prayers by anointed ministers of God. Come and experience divine encounter through the power of the cross. Host, His Grace, the Most Reverend Nicholas D. Oko, Archbishop, Metropolitan and Primate of all Nigeria Anglican Communion.
There is a new song in my heart. The families of Mr. and Mrs. Ebeye in Ola Okpata Autonomous Community and Mr. and Mrs. Humphrey Brown of Edoha Town, all in Ahoda East Local Government, Rivers State, wishes to announce the solemnization of their children, Confidence Tengod Ebeye and Lloyd Brown, at St. Barnabas Anglican Church, Elekaya, Port Harcourt, on Saturday, February 22nd, 2020 by 11 a.m. Colors of the day: nude pink, onion purple, white and magenta. For more inquiries, please call 080-346-15362 or 081-388-33968.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news on ACNN. For more of our top stories, please visit our website at acnntv.com or youtube.com/ACNNTV. To be up to date with our news and other programs, download the VM Africa app for Android from Google Play Store. The Vicar of St. Philip's Anglican Church, Gwarimpa, the Venerable Ovi Ezimeruwe, has said that some problems facing marriages can be traced to the attitude of individuals involved. According to him, some spouses are so engrossed with their careers, while others, most especially the women, ignore their partners and give all their attention to their children. Speaking with ACNN News correspondent Nwane Ogechukwu in an interview, the cleric stressed on the need for the church to teach more on how marriages should be sustained, while he admonished couples to put their differences aside and work together.
Many people are far from the truth when it comes to the issue of marriage. Like I said, some people don't even have self-control. At the slightest provocation, they do nasty things that are destructive and all that. So it goes around in many factors. The spiritual angle, carelessness, ignorance, lack of care, lack of giving attention to themselves in marriage. Most people are now more attached to their career. Some women now, once they give birth to children, the children are more important than the husband. We need to do more of teaching. We need to do more of counseling. We need to educate people more. And I think if we do that more often, most of these things will reduce. Because there is a missing link, serious missing link today in the church. To deal with some of the things I've just talked about, 1, be prayerful. 2, be knowledgeable about marriage. Be self-controlled. And pay attention to your spouse.
Christians and the general public have been alerted to the signs and dangers of domestic violence in marriages and even in courtship before marriage. This awareness was raised when the choir of the Anglican Church of the Transfiguration in Gaduwa, Abuja, held their 2nd edition of the Evening of Love, a program used to mark the Valentine's season. ACNN correspondent Charles Philip Uwakolam was at the Evening of Love and has the report.
If you are experiencing violence in marriage, seek for help.
In this particular edition of the Evening of Love, the choir, led by Mr. Victor Chukwueke, chose a very relevant topic in domestic violence, discussing causes, reasons, dangers, side effects, and having views from religious, legal, and medical points of view, with professionals from these areas doing justice to the questions.
People go out on Valentine's Day to places they are not supposed to be. But as Christians, we need to come. That is why we've designed this program, so that we'll be in God's vineyard and discuss things that will profit us positively.
The church, in a way, or the church back then, in a way, tends to help in suppressing some sort of domestic violence, because people are afraid to come out, they're afraid to speak up, to say this is what I'm going through. But programs like this can build up the confidence in the minds of those who are actually experiencing things like this and help the church to help its members. That way we are building the actual fellowship Christ told us about.
The vicar explained why such programs can benefit the church and homes as well.
What we have looked at today is mainly domestic violence in our marriages. And we have seen this happen. It drives us to ensure that we make our members know exactly what domestic violence is and how to avoid it, how to ensure that it doesn't continue in the family. And we've also tried to use the biblical perspective to address issues relating to domestic violence, to avoid divorce in divorce cases. Well, definitely there is no perfect marriage here on earth, but we see a situation where when people are enlightened and they are aware of what it is, basically on issues like this, they are able to help themselves.
Meanwhile, the Evening of Love ended with some couple games to further spice up the evening. Charles Philip Owakolam, ACNN News.
And now to the international scene. The Reverend Grant Deben has straddled the Army, Navy and Air Force in military training and logistics, and now takes on a spiritual challenge as Anglican Bishop of the Defense Force. The Primate, Archbishop Philip Freer, announced that the Metropolitan Archbishops of Australia have chosen Mr. Deben as bishop, and the government has also approved the bishop designate as the Anglican representative of the Religious Advisory Committee to the services. Given his background, the role might not come as a surprise to others. After graduating from the Royal Military College, Duntroon, in 1982, Mr. Deben was allocated to the Army Ordnance Corps as a lieutenant colonel. He commanded the 7th Combat Service Support Battalion and in 2001 instructed at the Australian Defence Force Staff College, developing relationships with Navy and RAF officers. He was promoted to colonel in 2002 to command the Force Support Group and be the Chief of Staff, Headquarters Logistics Support Force. Reacting, the bishop designate described the appointment as good news, stressing that he's already looking to the future, but not forgetting Christian basic training. Meanwhile, the Venerable Judge Davison, Archdeacon of Belfast, has been elected Bishop of Connaught. He was appointed by the Episcopal Electoral College for the Diocese of Connaught. Meeting in the Alexander Synod Hall, he succeeds the Right Reverend Alan Abernethy, who retired in December last year. The bishop-elect is currently rector of St. Nicholas Parish Church in the Diocese of Connaught and Archdeacon of Belfast. He is an honorary secretary of the Church of Ireland's General Synod. Reacting, Bishop-elect Davison stated that members of the Electoral College for the Diocese of Connaught have done him a great honor by electing him to serve as the next bishop of the diocese. Following approval by the House of Bishops, the bishop-elect will be consecrated as a bishop on a date to be determined. The Anglican and Roman Catholic churches in Mexico have joined forces to support families who are campaigning for the return of tens of thousands of missing people. These missing people are victims of the increasing violence spurred on by drug cartels. Most are thought to have been killed. The Mexican government had estimated that some 60,000 people are missing, with more than 30,000 unidentified bodies in local morgues. Some 71 groups of relatives are currently taking part in a 15-day campaign, which is to end on Saturday, 22nd February, to raise awareness of their plight and search for their graves, during what has been called the 5th National Brigade for Search for Missing Persons. It began with an ecumenical service at the Roman Catholic Cathedral in Veracruz. A number of Anglican clergy took part in the service, including Bishop Julius Cesar Martin, the coadjutor bishop of southeastern Mexico. And now moving on to the world of sports, Nigerian defender F.A. Ambrose has said he's excited to sign for a new club after ending his long wait without a club. Ambrose joined Livingston on an 18-month deal recently after ending his spell with English Championship side Derby County and is lined to make his debut against Hibernian on Saturday. The 2013 African Cup of Nations winner hinted that he could have joined up with the club back in January, but he could not sort out his paperwork quickly. FA won the Scottish Premier League title during his time at Celtic. With that sport news, we wrap it up on the News on the Hour. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.